Extreme ownership changed my life. But what is extreme ownership? Simply put, extreme ownership is taking full responsibility for every single aspect of your life. Every single one. This means we're not going to play the blame game and put blame onto other people, and we're going to take responsibility for all of our actions. The term extreme ownership was coined by Jocko, Willink, and Leif Babin in their 2015 book, Extreme Ownership. The book outlines their principles for success and their leadership tactic and style that they use to lead them to success within the Iraq War. These principles that they used are the 4 laws of combat. But these laws don't just apply on the battlefield. They apply in every single aspect of life, and you can take them and put them into practice in your life as well as the business world. Let me tell you how I got involved in extreme ownership. The year was 2019, and I had just graduated college. Unfortunately, I didn't get the job I really wanted, so I found this speech by this guy Jocko Willink, who seemed like a total badass. His speech was called Good, and Good focuses on if something bad happens in your life, all you can do is say good and take the learning lessons and keep moving forward. I was working a job I didn't necessarily want to work for $10 an hour, and I saw that they are putting on this leadership conference called the Extreme Ownership Muster. It was expensive. It was over $2,000. And at the time, I was making just $10 an hour. So if you do the math, that's over 200 hours of work just for a 2-day leadership seminar. But I thought it might be worth it. I was hungry, I was looking for more out of life, and I knew I was capable of it. And I purchased my Extreme Ownership Muster ticket. It was the greatest self-investment I've ever made, and I say that to this day. Extreme ownership isn't just a book. Extreme ownership is a mindset. Extreme ownership is a way of life. And in today's video, I'll tell you the 6 ways that extreme ownership has changed my life for the better. Let's dive into today's video. Principle number 1 is relationships equals mission success. You wouldn't believe how many times someone comes up to me and says, hey, Joe's not doing this. Joe's not performing his job duties correctly. And I'll usually come back to them with 2 questions. Have you talked to Joe about this? And number 2 is, what's your relationship like with Joe? It's important that I'm teaching these junior level leaders to establish relationships with their peers. You'll have a more effective time as a leader if you establish relationships rather than just being the barking boss that orders them around and tells them exactly what to do through orders. If you establish a relationship, you'll build rapport with your team members, and they're more likely to follow in your guidance and leadership. If Joe's not doing what he needs to be doing, 1, you should talk to Joe. Explain to him why he should be doing these things and why what he's doing currently isn't effective. And number 2, creating that relationship with Joe. We want to make sure that you're not just talking about work all the time and you're building relationships. Who are they? What are their motivations? What do they like to do? And that'll go a long way. They'll see you as a human being rather than this just person that comes to work and orders me around. Because that's not going to build effective characteristics for you to be a leader and to create that relationship with them where they can come to you if there's a problem. Instead, they'll probably try and hide that problem from you. So principle number 1 is relationships equal mission success. Principle number 2, everyone is a leader. I learned this at the Extreme Ownership Muster, that everyone is a leader, regardless of your job title or where you're at on the hierarchy pyramid. You don't just have to be a C-level suite executive to be considered a leader. Line-level leaders are the ground for the company, and they're the ones that are making things happen. You need to think of them as leaders because they're leading themselves every single day when they choose to make decisions that overall affect the team and the overall mission of the team. Everyone is considered a leader, so you need to start thinking of yourself like a leader. Regardless of your job title, like I mentioned, you're a leader and you need to be focusing on using these leadership principles and guiding yourself through the 4 laws of combat, which we'll talk about later in this video. Principle number 3 is the leadership pyramid. Like I mentioned, everyone's a leader. You have control of whatever actions you have. So when we're talking about the leadership pyramid, you're going to be at the very bottom. You have extreme ownership or responsibility for all of your actions. So you can control what your actions are, and that helps overall the 2nd and 3rd layer of the pyramid. At the 2nd layer, we have the team. When many yous are put together, many individuals, they make up a team. We want the unit as a whole to be successful. We want the team to work in a cohesive environment so that we can overall achieve success, right? I wear a wristband that says lead and win. I love leading and I love winning. I love winning so much, and it sucks to lose. I want to make sure the whole team wins as a whole. But we can't win as a whole if we don't win the overall mission, which is the highest form on the pyramid. The mission is the single most important thing that everyone as an individual and everyone as a unit comes together to achieve the overall mission. It's important that everyone has a piece of the puzzle that they're working towards to overall achieve mission success. And when you get buy-in from everyone on the team that this is our mission and we're working towards that, well, you're simply more likely to achieve the overall mission because they have buy-in. They have a reason they're working for, and they know why they're coming to work every day to overall achieve that mission success. Principle number 4, it's on you, but it's not about you. This principle is about getting rid of your selfish desires on the individual level. Like we just saw, individualism is at the bottom of the pyramid. You, as a whole, have so much power, but it's not about you. It's about the good of the team and the good of the mission. When you think about things from me, I, you just seem selfish. All you care about is yourself, and it's not about you, it's on you. It's on you to make decisions every single day that overall help the team and the overall mission. But it's not about your feelings and your emotions. Every single day when I get up in the morning, I get up at 4:45 and I say this to myself. It's on you, but it's not about you. It's not about that I didn't get enough sleep that night. It's not about that I don't feel like getting up. It's not about that I'm sick. If I don't get up to be the leader that I know my team needs, I've overall let them down. And I can't do that. I can't stomach that as a leader. It's on you, but it's not about you, is principle number 4. Principle number 5, self-investment is the best investment. Alex Hormozi says he would rather invest in the S&Me 500 than the S&P 500. This means when you invest in your leadership tactics, when you invest in yourself as a person, you can become an overall bigger asset to the team rather than a liability. When you read, when you focus on personal development, when you go to leadership conferences like this, you become a better leader and those returns will pay dividends. Like I talked about earlier, $2,000 was a huge investment for me at $10 an hour. It was huge, but I could use these things for the rest of my life and they'll compound on one another. This self-investment that I made in 2019 has paid me dividends to being an overall effective leader and an overall effective human being. I love that I made this decision, and I believe self-investment is the best single form of currency you can do. Rather than going on a $1,000 trip to Mexico, you can invest in yourself for something that'll compound for the rest of your life. I'm continuously to invest in myself. After the Extreme Ownership Muster, I really believed in self-investment, so I invested in a high-performance mastermind. I've now invested in YouTube coaching, and I continue to see the growth that I'm achieving through working with these experts, working through top levels of people in their field. Think about it. $2,000 is a lot of money, but $2,000 isn't that much money when you're considering that you're going to be learning from the single best leaders in the world at the Extreme Ownership Muster, or through the book, through Jocko and Leif. When you're learning from the absolute best in the world, it can be priceless what you can learn from them. But you need to make sure you're applying these tactics and bringing them to your daily life. Otherwise, it's just a waste. If you guys can't tell, I really do love this extreme ownership stuff. It's really changed my life for the better, and I'm really happy I made that investment in myself back in 2019 when I was making $10 an hour, and I knew I could be more. I knew I was a leader at heart, and I knew that there was more to life to offer. And I'm happy I entrusted in Jocko and Leif and the entire Echelon Front team so that I could truly have extreme ownership in my life, because extreme ownership is discipline, it's our habits, it's our way of acting, it's our demeanor, it's our mindset. Extreme ownership is all these things. And it wouldn't be possible without the leadership from Jocko and Leif. They bring it down to their junior leaders, and they bring it to people like me, who I can bring extreme ownership into other people's lives and hopefully change their lives for the better and give them a tool of discipline and extreme ownership so that they can have the most prominent and effective life possible. And I love watching other people win. I really do. So without further ado, guys, thank you so much for watching today's video. My name's Chris Orm. Subscribe to the channel if you want more. Like this video. Follow me on Instagram. I'm posting there every single day. documenting my life, my extreme ownership, my discipline, my habits, and you can follow me there. Username is Chris_Oram. Means the world to me for you guys watching today's video, and we'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching.